Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Enlightening Your World with Brandon C. Jeter, the media outreach of Beacon Light Global Ministries. I'm so glad you could join us today as we continue in this series entitled Thought Management. This is part 6, and let's go to our foundational scripture. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23 from the Good News Translation. It reads, "Be careful how you think. Your life is shaped by your thoughts." That is so important for you to get, that the way you think shapes your life. It's based on you. We must, as believers, get it in our minds, get it in our hearts, that the life that we're living is a function of the way we think. It's not so much what's going on around us as much as it is what we decide to think on a regular basis. I also want to read this same verse from the New King James Version. "Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it springs the issues of life." The reason why I use two different scriptures is because I want to bring two different aspects from that same scripture. It says, "Keep your heart with all diligence." So this is an active response that you must have to every single thought that comes to your mind, because your mind is like a field. It's like a fertile field for farming. And whatever seed lands in that soil, if it's unchecked, it will grow. It will grow roots, it will grow branches, it will grow fruit. Is it the fruit you want? If you didn't plant it intentionally, it's probably something you didn't want. So that's why it's so important to guard your heart, because out of it flows the issues of life. Again, that word issues from the Hebrew, it means gates, it means borders, it means boundaries. So how far you can go in life is a function of the way you think. So many times we can't necessarily control all of the exterior things going on in our lives, but we can control what we think about the exterior things going on in our lives. And that's what's going to produce the life we desire. You are today a function of the thoughts of the years before. Where you are, what you're doing, what you're experiencing, how you are enjoying life today is a function of past thinking. So we really made it a decision in this series to just find out how important our thoughts are. I think we have that established. We spent the last 5 episodes doing that. But let's find out today how our thought process is governed. Or let's look at 3 things that govern the way we think. So I call them the 3 E's of thinking: your environment, your experiences, and your exposures. You might want to write that down. Your environment, your experiences, and your exposures. So let's start with the environment. Let's say I'm taking my wife out for her birthday, and it's a special night. We're going to do a dinner. So that means no kids. That means a babysitter. That takes a lot of planning. And we're probably not going to do fast food, because we can do fast food anytime. But having those special moments where we celebrate special days or special achievements, we're probably going to go to a restaurant to sit down. We're going to be served. We're going to enjoy dessert together. Well, why do we do that? Because the environment speaks to us. When you have candlelights, when you have soft music playing in the background, when you have a dimly lit booth to sit in, that's an environment. It creates a special moment. No offense to McDonald's, no offense to Burger King, but that just doesn't do it when I'm celebrating birthday with my wife. Now with my children, actually this actually happened to me. We were celebrating my birthday one year, and we went to a steakhouse. And my children were very annoyed. And so I asked my son, what's the problem? And he was like, "This is just food. All we're doing is eating. There's no games. Well, the environment didn't speak to him. So he just saw it as dinner, and he was waiting for us to go to Peter Piper Pizza or Chuck E. Cheese, because that environment did not say we're celebrating a birthday. So note to self, we will do something fun for you guys early in the day, but mommy and daddy, we're going to do something different alone. So environments minister to your mind, and it creates a certain way that you think. Okay, let's talk about experiences. The experiences you have in life also govern the way you think. So, for example, the first time you stood up in front of your class and maybe you had to read an essay, or you had to summarize a book report. Maybe you were nervous, and you stood up in front of the class. You're twiddling your fingers, and you're rubbing your leg and you're moving around because of that experience. Maybe someone giggled, or people laughed. Maybe there was a pretty girl that you liked, and she just kind of shook her head, and that was embarrassing for you. So, because of that experience, you may not enjoy standing up before people to discuss anything. Maybe that's why you prefer to be in the background, because you don't want any attention that draws you back to that moment in the third grade, the fourth grade, where you were embarrassed. And so your thoughts have latched onto that experience. And so to protect yourself, you avoid any experience like that at any time. But what about the same environment? Third grade, fourth grade, you're standing up in front of the class, you're doing a summary, and you are very poised, you are very articulate, and you hit all the key points, and the class actually cheers, gives you an applause. They even stand up, they give you a high five as you walk back to your seat. They tell you in the hallway, man, you rocked, that was really good. Well, that experience will build and boost your confidence. And so you think, well, I can do this anytime because of the experience you had. And last but not least, your exposures. The things you are exposed to on a regular basis drive your thoughts. Are you angry? Do you have a lightning quick response? And it's usually negative. It's really sharp. You have a real biting personality. Well, what do you listen to on a regular basis? What type of music do you listen to? What type of television programs do you watch? What type of environment fosters that type of attitude? All of that is a function. All of those functions, your environment, your experiences, and your exposures, govern the way you think. So let's go to Matthew chapter 9, verse 17. And this is from the New American Standard Bible. And Jesus was giving a teaching, and he's talking about renewing the mind or changing the way you think. He says in Matthew chapter 9, verse 17, nor do people put new wine in old wineskins. Otherwise, the wineskins burst, and the wine pours out, and the wineskins are ruined. But they put new wine in fresh wineskins, and both are preserved. The hardest thing for a person to do is to change the way they think. So you may be wondering, what exactly is a wineskin? I don't know your level of Bible history and knowing about different things that are mentioned in the Bible. But a wineskin was basically it was an animal skin that was sewn together, and it was used to transport water. And think about its name, wine skin. So wine was also put in these skins, and again, they were sewn together to contain whatever liquid was put in them. But at a certain point, because it was skin, much like leather, it would dry and it would become hardened. And so it wouldn't expand anymore. So if you put fresh wine in an old wineskin, because of the dryness and the hardness, it will burst. So you lose the wineskin and you lose the wine that was put in it. But you put new wineskin you put new wine in a new wineskin because it had the ability to stretch. And so you need new thinking. You need new thoughts. You need new environments. You need new experiences. You need new exposures. But just a little different from a wineskin, your brain has the ability to take on new thoughts. So, but if you embrace your old experiences, your old environments, your old exposures, it frustrates you. It makes you mad. It makes you annoyed. It becomes frustrated. And then eventually you can think it's just a waste of time. And I am who I am. I'll be what I'll be. But you have the ability to go to the next level in life by being willing to stretch your mind. Jesus said it this way in Matthew chapter 9, verse 23. In Mark chapter 9, verse 23. All things are possible to him who believes. What is he telling us in the scripture? He's telling us that if you will stretch your capacity to believe, you can change the way you think. And if you can change the way you think, you can change your life. I'm running out of time. I'm really excited about this. I'm already looking forward to part number 7. But thank you so much for your prayers. Thank you for tuning in. And as you can see, we are on Twitter at BJeter1. You can also find me on Facebook at Beacon Light Global. And the best way to get all of these messages is to go to www.beaconlightglobal.org. And you can get all of the messages to the series and past series. Thank you for your prayers, and thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.